4 is now released, okay? Killing You Smelly. Episode 4 is released. The Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcast. That's where you listen to it, okay? It's about chemical fragrances, the bad stuff, air fresheners, the whole bit. Air fresheners, cologne, perfume, scented candles. Really, it's an incredible show for the chemical sensitive people. An incredible show for them and for everybody, really. And you don't want to miss this episode, Killing You Smelly. It's an epic episode, and I say that because it's so packed with information to help people. You don't want to miss out on that. Just really an incredible message in there all the way. I mean, that's just a part of how incredible it really is. So there's so much there, so much there. So I just wanted to mention that. So, like I said, episode 4 released, Killing You Smelly. There it is. You can find it. Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. So I'm letting you know where it is, where you can find it. I want to talk about some other stuff too, which is so important. So did you hear the brain meditation? Mind blower. The brain meditation. Did you hear that? It's a guided meditation. Have you tried it? I know many of you have tried it. Really, really powerful. Jade says, I find it very difficult to be around anyone wearing perfumes. Because of the chemicals involved. Really, really hard. And Joshua, hello, sir. You're the man. You're the man, too. I'm proud of you, Joshua. All the good work you do out there, spreading the message and everything. So I'm just proud of you. Just know that. And I know you're working hard. You're doing all kinds of stuff. So the Medical Medium Podcast, uncensored, you guys. There's a difference. Uncensored. Do not miss out on these episodes. Chemtrail episode. Number 1 episode right there. Chemtrail. But it's not for the faint of heart. Be careful with that episode. It's a shocker. Shocker. That's the chemtrail episode. Fruit fear episode. Whole nother one there too. It's a shocker too. Just saying, be careful with that episode. That's episode number 2. Episode number 3, brain meditation. The brain meditation takes you through a guided meditation to heal fear, trapped fear that's in our soul and between our soul and our physical body. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit in a minute. And you can do that brain meditation, every single day to help heal. So episode number 4, released this morning, Killing You Smelly. Air fresheners, scented candles, perfumes, colognes. You don't want to miss that episode. And these are all uncensored, okay? At Apple Podcast, that's where they are. They're uncensored. If you listen to them or try to listen to them on another platform that's not Apple, then it's censored. Most likely clipped, snipped. Even if the minutes look the same, I'm telling you where you can see it. And if you don't have an Apple device, fine. You can just go to medicalmedium.com, medicalmedium.com. Go to the menu, look for podcast in the menu, and boom, you can listen to it. You can listen to it. One thing I want to say, which is really important, is that there's no infomercials, there's no advertisements, there's no sponsorships. There's none of that in these episodes because I don't do that kind of thing. I made a choice not to do that with this kind of level of a podcast. I made sure that this wasn't going to be there because, it's so important to know that. So you're free from all of that. Share the please share the podcast. Please, please, please. Anna says, all podcasts are amazing. 4 times brain meditation. So good. Love you. Thank you, Spirit of Compassion. The Spirit of Compassion loves you. Thank you for listening and everything. My husband suffers from perfumes. I saw that. The comments are going up, and I missed that. Sorry about that. I couldn't read the rest of it. And what happens is what you smell becomes you. That's what happens. What you smell becomes you. If you smell it, it's already inside you. So the minute you smell something, those chemicals are already inside of you. That's why it's important to take care of yourself, important to cleanse. That's why I got that book right there in the back, A Cleanse, A Heal. So important to know. Brain meditation had me in tears. Cindy says, brain meditation had me in tears. Thank you. The brain meditation you can do over and over again. And more fear leaves and leaves. And when we go through life with all kinds of different things that even happen on a daily basis, it's important to get rid of that fear. So important. Do you ever think about the air you breathe? I know that chemical sensitive people, they think about it. I think pretty much they think about it, and it's important to know. And here's a good point to remember. If someone who's a canary, okay, in a coal mine, somebody who's a canary, and they're sensitive to chemical smells, chemical treated soups, chemical soups that are in these air fresheners and scented candles and all that. They're sensitive. What happens is they're a human, right? They're human. You're human too if you're not sensitive, but you're still being affected just like they are. But physically, you just don't feel it yet, but we collect all that chemical, and eventually we end up with problems. We end up with the migraines and all kinds of other issues from it. Ola says, killing you, Smelly. I never knew. Thank you for opening my eyes. Thank you for all your podcasts. They're powerful, exhilarating. They're uncensored. I'm glad you got a skin and you can handle them. They're uncensored at Apple Podcasts. So just so you know, and I'm sure you do know, you're listening to them. Your brain meditation was outstanding. The flood of tears and the emotions and release were amazing. It's incredible. Thank you. You are incredible. Thank you so much for your powerful podcast. I'm honored you're here. Ola, I'm honored you're here, and I'm honored you're doing them, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here so you can have some tools to heal. And chemtrail, fruit fear, your eyes are open. Incredible. I'm proud of all you guys, really. If you have anxiety, migraines, chronic sinusitis, chemical sensitivities, you have different symptoms like tingles and numbness and burning skin and aches and pains and fatigue, those chemical soups that are in those air fresheners and scented candle, Spirit of Compassion always told me that they were trouble. And I just wanted, in the Colognes and Perfumes too, and I wanted you to have an episode that really, really went into all of it. You don't want to miss these episodes. There's no advertising. There's no sponsorships. There's no infomercials. I mean, literally, it's there and done for you. You guys have been getting 2 hours of sleep because of those things. I slept an hour and 45 minutes 3 days ago because I was working on one. And then I slept 3 hours the day before that. I slept a 2-hour night last night, and I try to get a nap for an hour in between because I'm working that hard on trying to produce this podcast for you guys and the information. And guess what? I'm not being paid. There's no money. There's no advertisements so I can get money. There's no sponsorship so I can get... There's none of that. And I'm dumping money into it. I just want you guys to have the tools and the chance to heal. And I want to talk about the brain meditation for a second. I coveted that, and I feel bad I did. I coveted that throughout my life because Spirit of Compassion gave me that meditation when I was younger, and I only gave it to some close friends and family throughout the years. And I said, wait a minute. Why don't I give everybody that meditation? What am I doing? And it just dawned on me. And so I decided to make sure you have that epic meditation so you have every chance to heal. And I didn't think about it until recently. And I was like, until a few months ago when I started developing and working on this podcast for you guys, I was like, hey, the brain meditation has to be in the first week. They need the brain meditation. It's critical. Pressing Prince. Hey, there you are. I remember you last time. I read your comments. Love all your podcasts. Brain meditation I do every morning and night. I feel amazing every time I do it. I feel so light. It's that powerful. Free. And like I can take on the world. It gets better every time I do it. Definitely sharing with people. Thank you for sharing it. Pressing Prince, thank you for sharing it with people. Because what that does is it's going to help others. It's going to help others. Tell them Apple Podcasts though. The link is in the description. So the link is in the description. If they don't have an Apple device, tell them to go to help them go to medicalmedium.com. Okay? There's no service. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to do anything. Go to medicalmedium.com and look at the menu, see podcast in the menu, and you can listen to it right there with any device. So share with everybody. Please share, because you know what? It's hard to even get the stuff out there because I'm shadow banned as it is with so much, going on out there, and because I'm censored everywhere and censored here, censored there. So share it if you can. Help people heal in the whole bit. So important. So so Liz, you're a migraine sufferer, and scents and other smells trigger my migraine and asthma. Yes, that's why I did this show. And people who aren't sufferers of anything, it's going to trigger them too. These chemicals are taking over. these air fresheners are everywhere and everywhere. I mean, colognes are everywhere too, but scented candles, everybody's burning them. And I talk about it in the episode where there's people who are like gurus and they're into health and they're burning all those scented candles. They got people coming over and they're lighting all these scented candles. They got one on the coffee table, one on the dinner, two on the dinner table. They have friends over and they're being choked out by chemical scents, by chemical soups. Meanwhile, they're into health, they're into exercising and all this. I talk about how people just aren't aware. Sue Erickson, hi, how are you? Loving your uncensored podcast. Thank you. I had to do it. I had to do everything I could to get the uncensored information out there for you guys. I had to, because I'm censored everywhere. Please share. Please share if you can. The link is in description. The link is in the description. Please leave a review at Apple Podcast. If you do that, others can find their way. I don't want to ask too much of you guys. I don't. I like to give free information. I always tell you, you don't have to buy the Cleanse to Heal book, even though it's on sale and everything at Amazon and all that. I don't even tell you to get it. I just go to the library. I know you guys heard that a million times. You heard me say, go to the library, get it for free. But it's on Amazon. It's $16.99 in Amazon right now in the U.S. But the point is that I just don't want to ask much of you guys. But if you can share it, it would be so helpful to get it out there. It would be so helpful. So Margaret says, great podcast. Please continue sharing. Thank you. So you totally get it. You totally get it. Ashley Kivin, I love this podcast. Thank you so much for having giggling during this hard to stomach information. You know, I got to tell you something about that. You're also saying I'm a canary and it meant so much to me. So grateful for your hard work. I totally understand. I understand what it's like to be a canary. Like, I get the whole thing where it's really difficult. People don't know you can even get PTSD from so much you're up against as a canary and when you're sensitive. Thank you. And you know, the funny thing is that when you're saying that I'm giggling during the show a little during the real hard moments of information, that's how I've always coped my whole life. Because since I was 4 years old and Spirit of Compassion started speaking to me and giving me scary information about the world and about people suffering and about answers to why people are sick that are like in the Cleanse to Heal book right behind me. And what happens is that it's always been hard. It's always been hard for me because I feel people's pain. I feel their suffering. I feel what they're going through. So one of the ways I've always coped is I try to keep some joy still within my heart. And so I giggle a little and chuckle a little in a way. It's how I cope with terrible news. That I have to even deliver, things that are happening in the world. William Kerr, hey, how you doing? Podcasts are wonderful. Thank you. Spirit of Compassion, you're welcome. Hey, Lunel. Hey, how are you? Lunel, you know so much stuff. It's just unbelievable. Medical meme information. It's just so cool. I thank you so much for sharing the brain meditation. It's truly incredible. I am already feeling changes so much. It's life-changing already for me. Lunel, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you, by the way. But I know you work hard on your healing. I know that. You're also a meditation expert. You know meditations. You've done a bunch of them, I think. That's what I think I read in your comments. And you know what it takes, the work you have to do involved. And I'm honored that you love the meditation. Because if you love it, that means a lot too. Because you're really seasoned. A lot of people, that some people never even did a meditation yet. And so, which is great, which is fine. Look, the chemtrail episode, I want to talk about that a little bit. The chemtrail episode, still remind everybody, it's not for the faint of heart. It's a shocker, a big shocker. The information, the details in the chemtrail episode are unlike anything else. That's when you know it's unique and original information, like all medical medium information is, but it's a shocker. And you can put the pieces of the puzzle together once you listen to the episode. And you can protect yourself. You can protect yourself because that's what it's about. And then the fruit fear episode, oh my God, it's a whole nother one. You have to hear that one. Wyla Green, she said, hi back. Proud of everybody here. And Deborah says, get the book. Yeah, the book, the Cleanse to Heal book is a medical textbook with answers to so many different conditions, over 200 different conditions. Deborah Lynn says, is this going to be your new permanent platform for current podcasts? Sorry. Apple Podcast is the platform. That's the platform for the Medical Meeting Podcast. Talking too fast. I've been talking all day. Hey, Dr. Fan, hey, sharing it for all my patients and family. Amazing, doctor. Incredible MD, incredible guy, doing amazing work, healing so many patients. Incredible. The amount of work he does and the commitment he has to his patients and the compassion he has to his patients is just unbelievable. Really is. It's an honor to know you a whole bit. And yeah, the canary. The link is in description, so you know. So the link is in description. So you can find the link to the podcast. It's Medical Meeting Podcast at Apple Podcast. Uncensored. Whole nother level. Jennifer says, keep a light heart. I listen. Yeah, got to keep a light heart through it. That's what you have to do. There's no question. Trisha said you had me giggling. The air freshener, scented candle, Colognes Perfumes, that's a funny one. There's going to be some pretty intense podcast episodes coming. Okay. 2 more podcasts this week. 2 more episodes I'm releasing this week. Okay? So I know there's a little suspense in there, but 2 more. And yes, they're going to be above board, uncensored, powerful information, and subscribe to Medical Meeting Podcast at Apple Podcasts so you can be notified. If you have an Android or another device or anything, like I said, go to medicalmedium.com, go to the menu, look for podcast in the menu, and just listen. That's all. You can listen on any device. Sign up to the newsletter if you want, so you can get notified that way. Sign up to the newsletter, Medical Medium newsletter, medicalmedium.com. Kristen says, chemtrail episode podcast was amazing. Incredible. So happy. So glad you guys like it. So I want to say about the brain meditation for a minute, just so you know. What the brain meditation does is it bridges the gap that happens with our neurons. We get physical injuries with our emotional center, the neurons and emotional center of the brain. When we get bad news and breakups and betrayal and broken trust and losses and friendship issues and everything else we've ever had in our lives and terrible losses and all kinds of things and promises broken, all of that. When we go through life, what happens is every time we get some bad news, we end up getting some PTSD and our soul gets shocked out of us and it gets shocked out of us and a distance occurs. And when that distance occurs, it's just being beat out of us, basically, when we go through hardships. What happens is fear fills in the center. So all this fear fills in the center between the soul and the physical brain. And when that fear fills in the center, it stays there. And we live in this whole thing where we're highly sensitive, we're fearful, we've got trust issues that don't heal, all of it. And then we also make decisions that may not be the best because of the fear. This brain meditation, okay, bridges that gap. Not only does it, the more you do it, you heal the neuron in the emotional center of the brain. The more you do the brain meditation, do it every single day, every single night, you fall asleep doing it if you want, it heals those neurons that get tattered and burnt out from trouble we go through, bad news and hardships, just get burnt out. What happens is then the soul just comes closer and it just bridges the gap and the fear disappears when you do that meditation. It's hard to explain like this, but when you're in that meditation, you'll feel it. Let's see. Rebecca Jean says, could you please talk about lupus? Absolutely. We're going to do an episode. I'm going to do an episode on lupus. There's no question. It's going to be coming up. So hang in there. But Cleanse to Heal, right there, you just look under the autoimmune section of Cleanse to Heal, and you'll see in that when it's, because lupus is considered autoimmune. So you just look for the autoimmune section so you can get guidance there. And there's so much you can do for lupus. Take the book to the doctor if you want. Get it free at the library if you don't want to buy it at Amazon. Amazon's 51% off right now, which is unbelievable. 51% off on the book. It's a medical textbook. It's so packed with information. 75 recipes, over 200 symptoms and conditions and answers for them. Amazing. But anyway, about the podcast. You love the podcast too? About the podcast, it's one of these things where the episodes are going to be shattering in a good way, just mind-blowing in a good way, informative in a good way, and healing in a good way. I've been telling you guys I've had an announcement to make, and I've had an announcement to make and all this, and it was the podcast. And that's what it was. And it was about making sure that this podcast was released. And I needed the right platform. Apple's the platform for it, and I need to make sure it's uncensored and all these things. And there's no infomercials, no advertisements, no sponsorships, you guys. And I get told you should have that. It's like, what? What do you mean? You don't have to have that. Why would I want that in the way of the episodes? So Tricia says, it is a very divine and powerful meditation. Very much appreciated for you sharing this with us. Tricia, I'm so proud of you. I'm honored you're doing it. Please know that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for just commenting tonight. And thank you for sharing it. And I'm sure you're sharing it. I'm sure. And I don't want to ask anything from you guys because, first of all, I just got to tell you something. Most of you guys are struggling. You've been through hell and back. You've been through a lot in your life. You've had some hardships. You've been sick. You've been struggling with your health and working on your healing process. I don't want to ask anything from you guys. It's the last thing I want to do. I mean, you guys have it hard enough with your symptoms, and many of you suffer from struggle that you're working on healing. Many of you have healed already because you've done the medical medium information. Many of you haven't done the medical medium information, so you're not there yet, but you're working on it. The point is I don't want to ask anything, but if there is anything, just share the episode with others. Keep it going. Keep it out there flowing so people can heal and that energy comes back, and it's just so important. Kristen Lowe Harris, Trisha Marie is the meditation on the podcast. The brain meditation is at the Medical Medium Podcast, okay, at Apple Podcast. You can subscribe so you get notified when each episode is out, but that's where it is. If you don't have an Apple device, go to medicalmedium.com, menu, go to the menu, and find podcasts in the menu and listen to it there. And the link is in description. The link is in the description. So, really incredible. So if you have the thing is with chemical sensitivities, brain fog, migraines, chronic sinusitis, eye problems, chest tightness, depression, burning skin, what happens is these chemical soups, we're like the rat. We're like the test animals. We're like the test subjects, the rats, as these chemical soups are tested upon us. And they can trigger off anxiety, they can trigger off migraines, it can trigger off brain fog. That's what these things can do. And so important to know what can happen here. Constance says, the meditation is awesome, amazing. I'm so glad you're doing it. Share it with others. Michelle L., hey, I think mercury is a big issue for vision. Mercury is really toxic heavy metals like mercury definitely affect the central nervous system. They affect the optic nerve. They affect the neurons. They affect so many things going on with people when you have the toxic heavy metals. Absolutely. So Teresa says, how do I find out about the meditation? So the link is in the description. So Teresa, you can see the link right in the description. You take you right to there and you can listen to it. So that's what you can do. So I'm proud of all you guys. So the fragrance show is really an eye-opener. It's because, a lot of us we're forced to have to breathe in all these things. And it's good to know how you can protect yourself too. And it's good to know what's happening with that. All of it's important. It really is. So that's funny. So anyway, I'm really proud of you guys. I truly am. So I hope you catch the brain meditation episode. I hope you use it. Use it because it's there for you. It's there for you to heal, and share it so others can heal. It's not a man-made meditation. Know the difference. It's not man-made. It comes from above. It's not something you could even make or create. It actually comes from above. That's where it came from originally. Anna says, I have an Android, so I'm getting the podcast from emails. Is this as good as Apple? If it's from the medical medium email, then yes, it is. Yep. So share it on IG and Facebook. Incredible. Anyway, you guys, it's so great to be here. I'm glad I had a chance to talk about the brain meditation and what happens in our brain, the connection that occurs, the soul coming back to the body, all of that. Listen to the episode, Killing You Smelly, which is air fresheners, scented candles, all of that, Colognes Perfumes. If you get a chance, the chemtrail episode, the fruit fear episode was the number 2 episode. Number 3 episode is the brain meditation. You should be bringing that in every night. And try to listen to these episodes and share them if you want. There's so much information in them, but Killing You Smelly is the episode that's on right now. I mean, the newest, released today. Get a chance to hear it. Lindsay says, I listened to both episodes today. They are great. Honored. I'm so happy. Incredible. So, Joni says, thank you, sir. Love the podcast. So glad. And I'm so glad that you're listening because, I mean, that's why I did it. That's the whole point. It's the whole point. You guys are amazing. Love you. So just know that I care. I stand with you guys. Share with other people with the podcast episodes. Make sure you, try to leave a review at Apple Podcasts if you can. I mean, if you're up for it, if you can, that'd be great so other people can hear what's going on and all that. And proud of all of you. I believe in all of you, and I will see you next time. There's 2 more episodes coming this week. Look out for them. Because they're really packed. And so important. Subscribe so you can subscribe to Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts so you're first to get notified and you don't miss any of them. So you get the uncensored versions no matter what, okay? All right. Bless your heart. Know that I care. Love you guys. And keep a light heart. I believe in you. And I'll see you next time.